Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad new Fangled Motion Picture Show.
Hello there, Internet. It is us, the dynamic duo of Niall
and Nolan,
doing another newfangled motion picture show.
I believe it is we is correct.
Whatever. It's been kind of a dry couple of weeks. I haven't done one of these in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, there's just been nothing that's interested us.
Yeah, God, what Labor Day, the weekend before Labor Day, not Labor Day weekend, the weekend before that was the last time that there was a movie worth seeing, because I remember Labor Day being the first week when we're looking at it going, it's Labor Day weekend and there's no movies in the theater.
Yeah, that's why I think, did we see Logan Lucky that weekend? Or did we see it the weekend before?
It can't have been that weekend. I was out of town, remember?
Oh, right. I guess it was the weekend before, but yeah, because that was the last one with these we did, was Logan Lucky. But yeah, I mean, people were all over the place were commenting that there were no big movies out Labor Day weekend, which was really weird,
especially since they had, there had been a couple of weekends in the month before that were overloaded.
Right.
When it's like, why wouldn't one of you want to move to the Labor Day weekend slot? Which seems to be prime real estate to put your movie on.
Maybe they didn't want to be the one to move because that'd be admitting that they're a lesser movie.
Screw that, man. If it's an opportunity for me to make more money.
Right.
I
suppose we could have got. I mean, we're not horror movie fans, but it's supposedly pretty good.
Oh yeah. That is something that came out last weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I guess it hasn't been a completely dry couple of weeks because it was apparently fantastic by all accounts. But yeah, we don't really do horror movies. Just no interest in them really, personally. So, but this week we're doing Kingsman: The Golden Circle, which is the sequel to Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Yes.
Which is a movie that will, if you're, if you fancy yourself a fancy person, it'll make you feel inferior.
Yeah.
Because all the main characters in this movie are dressed better than you.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Yep. Pretty much.
Even like the Americans in their cowboy getups.
But it's like cowboy chic. It's
it's cowboy chic. It's like perfectly fitting jeans, fancy looking cowboy boots.
It's what you expect like all tycoons to wear.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you look at Channing Tatum in the outfit he's wearing, and you're like, this dude looks like a famous country western star with just shitloads of money.
Yep.
But that being said, we're gonna do our normal deal where we do a spoiler-free review, give you a big old spoiler warning, and then get more in depth into the movie.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was good.
Yep. I think I don't like it as much as the first one, I think, but I still liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Because the first one was I mean, I loved the first one. The first one was a great movie.
The first one's a fantastic movie.
This one is a little bit below that, but still pretty good movie.
Still an excellent movie. Yeah, and there was a character reveal in the movie, not the one showing Colin Firth from the trailer.
Yeah.
Which, in retrospect, wasn't as big a spoiler as we were worried it was going to be.
Right.
But there's another character I want to avoid talking about that was a surprise. So I want to make sure, I want to avoid talking about him.
Okay.
Because it was until the spoiler part, because it was a very entertaining reveal, and his character was actually a very fun character.
Yeah. Okay. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. The
same sort of vein as the first one, the over-the-top spy stuff with the gadgets and
the fight choreography and
the accompanied to music and
yep.
Yeah, it was still that same sort of movie. Just everything's over the top and just fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah. Basic premise, I'm sure you've seen from the trailers. Someone attacks Kingsman as part of their doomsday failsafe or doomsday backup plan. What's the word I'm looking? Contingency.
Mm-hmm.
They open their safe, and inside's a bottle of whiskey, which leads them to the Statesman.
It's the
Which is the
American equivalent.
Yeah, the American equivalent. And they get help from the Statesman to save the world.
Which includes Jeff Bridges, Channing Tatum, and Halle Berry, and Pedro Pascal, as you've all seen from the trailers.
Yep, and that's I think 100% of the Statesman. There's not even really any extras.
No. I mean, they do have the board like the Kingsman do with like the other ones sitting around the table.
Yeah,
as holograms.
That was like 2 scenes.
Yeah, it shows them as holograms, but you never get any names or any close-ups on any of them. They're just sort of so you know that there's more statesmen than what you see there, but that's all the statesmen that get involved in this.
Yeah.
And they're all liquor names.
Yeah, they're all liquor names.
Except Halle Berry, who's ginger ale.
Yep.
Because she's their Merlin.
Right. Channing Tatum is tequila.
Pedro Pascal is whiskey. Jeff Bridges is champagne, but he goes by Champ.
He goes by Champ. I like Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
in general. He seems like the kind of guy.
I like this whole cast in general.
Like pretty much everyone on the cast is very entertaining. And Jeff Bridges to me, like, he's like seems just down to do whatever.
Yeah, like
that's why you,
in my mind, Jeff Bridges is either a cowboy or the dude. Or in the case of Tron, he's like a combination of the two. As Flynn in Tron, he's like some sort of like mixture of the two, but that's in my head. That's what like Jeff Bridges has to be. Is like
he's either like a real cool customer cowboy, or
he's like this laid back stoner guy.
Yeah. And I'm all in favor of Channing Tatum being in more things.
Yeah.
So
he's good. Also, Pedro Pascal's been in a bunch of stuff lately. Ever since like he appeared on Game of Thrones, he's been popping up and stuff.
Yeah, but the same thing with what's his name who played Robb Stark was popping up and stuff.
Yeah, but not
after the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Season, whatever. Was that season 2? I don't remember.
I don't even remember. It's been a while.
3?
Three maybe?
3? I don't know. It's been a long time.
It has been.
And same thing with Kit Harington's popping up and some stuff. I mean, obviously, can't pop up in a ton of stuff because he's, more and more heavily involved in each episode of Game of Thrones or each season of Game of Thrones. But
right.
Started seeing him pop up and stuff. So I think generally speaking, Game of Thrones is a boon to people's careers.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think because Pedro Pascal, he's from Chile.
Chile?
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I'm sure he'd done because his English is very good.
Yeah,
and he has like this flawless American accent, like a Southern accent in this one. So, I think I'm sure he's done American movies before, being Game of Thrones, but I think Game of Thrones gave him notoriety that like American producers like, oh, get that guy.
Yeah,
we like that guy.
We need a sort of Hispanic looking dude for a movie. This guy we know can act and do action stuff.
I think it's funny that Channing Tatum is tequila and the Hispanic guy is whiskey.
Yeah. But I mean, it's sort of, well, because of their characters, it's sort of the like connotation that those different liquors have.
Yeah, well, Channing Tatum is much more the party type, the fun loving.
Yeah, he's the bad boy, the resident bad boy is how
right.
he calls him, and
and so.
And whiskey is like the seasoned.
He's more refined, seasoned, refined field agent, yeah. So yeah, that makes sense in that connotation, but it was just.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but.
Not trying to be racist or anything, but tequila comes from Mexico.
And granted, okay, yes, Pedro Pascal's from Chile, not Mexico, but still.
But
who knows? Maybe Chile has a big whiskey industry I'm not aware of.
Maybe, but Yeah, and I mean, again, like the whole cast in this is pretty great.
Yeah, I love the like the Kingsmen are like so like British, and then the Statesmen are so American.
Yeah, it's pretty amusing.
It is.
It's just like how over the top.
It's just this like culture clash between the two of them all the time.
Yeah. Like the statesmen have like all of their gadgets are in a flask, or they're in their cowboy hats.
Yeah.
Or they are a bullwhip.
Or no, well, they have grenades look like baseballs.
They have grenades that look like baseballs, minesweepers that look like baseball bats. Yeah, and then the Kingsmen, their stuff's all in like canes and umbrellas and briefcases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an incredibly fun movie. If you like the first one, you'll like this one.
Definitely.
It's got no Sam Jackson in it.
Well, except in a flashback.
Flashback, yep.
And there was a, how do they thank him? Like in the credits, it was
a dope thanks
a dope ass thanks or something.
Dope ass thanks to
Sam Jackson or something like that. Yeah, in the credits.
Yeah, it's the same sort of over the top action, just ridiculous spy movie tropes.
Right.
A lot of use of over the top like Brosnan era Bond type gadgets.
Yeah, a lot of choreographed fight sequences and
choreographed to music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I highly recommend it, especially since the only other thing out right now is Lego Ninjago, which was evidenced by the 8,000 children at the theater.
We decided whether we're seeing that or not. I
I
have no interest in the IP of Ninjago whatsoever. But the trailer made me laugh.
It's the same team that did the Lego Movie and Lego Batman, which were both fantastic movies.
Right, and the trailer made me laugh.
I don't know. We'll see.
There's like a new trailer where like one of the characters' arms gets ripped off. I was like, how bad is it? On a scale of 1 to your arms ripped off.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. There's stuff to see the next few weeks in a row. So
yeah.
We'll have to see. It's gonna depend on if we have time to see multiple movies in 1 week, basically.
Yeah, we're both kind of busy lately.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't think we have anything else to say that's spoiler free about the movie.
Right, everything else is gonna get into spoilers.
Yeah. So that being said, go see the movie. And then from here on forward, are spoilers.
Right.
All right. So Channing Tatum needs to be in more of this movie.
He's hardly in this movie.
I was so disappointed in that.
There are so many scenes from the trailer that he's in that are not in this movie. It was really pretty disappointing.
Yeah, like I was looking forward to the scene where it's him and Eggsy standing there, and Eggsy's like, "It's very American." And he goes, "Yeah, it is."
I know. I was like, I was just waiting for that scene the whole movie. And I was talking about like before, because Channing Tatum. All right, so the plan is this biggest drug cartel in the world. This woman named Poppy, who's played by
You get it? Her name's Poppy.
Yeah.
She's a drug dealer.
Who was that? That was
hold on. I got it here. Julianne Moore.
Yeah, Julianne Moore. Yeah, I know who it is. Her name's escaping me. All right, so Julianne Moore. And she has this plan to make drugs legal so she doesn't have to live in the friggin' jungle for... She's set up like this like base in the jungle in Cambodia.
Yep.
Where she's hiding out. No one knows where she is, but she wants to live in America. She's American.
Because who doesn't?
Right? Who doesn't?
She's obsessed with 50s Americana.
Yeah.
Which that is like the one thing I can sympathize with her about. Like that's a reasonable thing to be obsessed over.
A weakness.
Yeah,
50s Americana.
I love me some 50s Americana as well.
Anyway, so her plan is to sort of hold ransom the cure, because she has laced all her drugs with this virus that
causes paralysis.
It eventually causes paralysis. It starts off. Everyone gets this blue rash.
Yep.
Then they they get hit hysteria or mania. They develop mania, and then paralysis
to the point where they suffocate.
Yeah, they'll eventually die.
Their muscles, their diaphragm stops.
And
working.
she has an antidote that she's willing to distribute. She goes to the American government because, as she puts it, the UN has no teeth. So she goes to the president and says, put forth a bill to make drugs legal and just tax them and like their alcohol. Right. Regulate them, tax them like their alcohol, make drugs legal, and I will distribute the antidote because it's this worldwide thing. Because she's got drugs all over the world. So, Channing Tatum, though, his character does some drugs, and
because as we stated before, Halle Berry states that he's the resident bad boy or whatever.
Right, and so they cryo-freeze him to stop the disease from spreading. And so he's out of the movie until the very end of the movie, and that was pretty early on in the movie when this happens.
Yeah, Channing Tatum had probably been in 3 scenes at that point.
Yeah.
Is it
2? Well, there was the fight scene where he showed up, and then the scene after.
Yeah.
Oh no, 3 scenes. The fight scene where he showed up, the scene where he's interrogating Merlin and Eggsy, and then the scene after that where Jeff Bridges assigns him to the mission, but then they notice the blue rash on him, and from there on out. Okay, so he's. Well, no, there's one other where he's at that point developed mania, and he's dancing in the hallway.
Yeah.
In his underwear,
doing finger pistols.
Yeah, finger pistols. And then that's all he'd been in, just a few minutes in total.
Yeah.
And then he's frozen to the very end of the movie.
Yeah, he's in the trailers more than
Jeff Bridges? Or almost anyone but Eggsy, basically.
Yeah.
He's in the trailers more than anyone but Eggsy.
That's...
Who are you trying to think of?
Whiskey.
Pedro Pascal?
Pedro Pascal, yeah. He's in the trailers more than Pedro Pascal.
And Pedro Pascal's in the movie a lot.
A lot. So, that was disappointing, because I'm all in favor of Channing Tatum being in both things.
Yeah, I like Channing Tatum a lot. He's
funny. So,
Yep.
And then let's see. Oh, the character reveal that was a surprise and rather amusing character was Elton John, played by
Elton John. Yeah, he was pretty funny. So, Poppy had kidnapped Elton John
during the chaos of all the famous people disappearing in the previous movie.
Right, and she's like, all this chaos. I figured, why not? And so. He's her captive, and he's just there to play the piano for her when she wants.
Yep.
She's got this big theater in her Cambodian hideout, and he just sits up on the stage and plays piano whenever she wants. But then when Eggsy and Harry show up to stop her, he's there, and he's like, and there's gunfire outside, and he turns the guard guarding him. He's like, what's going on? He says, there's some people attacking. Is it a rescue attempt? Oh, it could be.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm gonna play. And he starts playing. He starts singing. Wednesday. Is that song supposed to be Saturday? What's today? Wednesday. There you go.
Yeah. And so he has some fight moves, and
he beats up the 2 guys guarding him.
And he
helps Colin for Harry kill this robot dog.
Mm-hmm. And
with a bowling ball,
and he plays the organ at Eggsy's wedding.
Yep, because Eggsy is in the movie dating the princess from the first one. Because when on the first date she gives up her butt, that's true love.
Yeah. Yep. So. Yeah, I mean, but I think really my only true complaint about this movie is how little Channing Tatum is in it.
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of sucked that some of the characters I liked die. Merlin dies, and that was really disappointing.
Arthur dies. Also disappointing.
A new Arthur that you didn't get any chance to know, but it was Michael Gambon.
Yeah.
So Michael Gambon I like seeing in movies too.
Right.
Cool.
I was saying that's what's disappointing about it.
his final words were like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
When he sees this missile coming at him, he's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
And then what's her face? I think she was Lancelot at that point.
Yeah.
Roxy.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. Much as I like the first one, I forget her name. I'm pretty sure it's Roxy. Anyway,
yeah, like all the
Roxy is right.
Kingsmen except for Merlin and Eggsy die because Eggsy is in Sweden at the time, and Merlin wasn't a target because he's not technically an agent.
Right.
But all the Kingsman agents are killed.
Yeah. So, yeah, they go. Merlin knows about the in the event of that, they go to this it was like a wine.
It was a winery, not a winery, a
wine cellar. Basically.
It's got there. If I know anything about wine, I know they have a fancy freaking name for every aspect of wine. So there's probably a name for someone who sells wine.
Yeah.
Right.
I know what a sommelier is, but that's just someone who works in a restaurant and recommends wine.
Although there's probably a sommelier working there because they have tasting rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So, anyway, they go to this place and they say, "We're from the Kingsman and we want to sample some wine in room 3 or whatever." So they go in there and there's this secret like door and then like a vault behind it, and they open it up and there's just a bottle of whiskey and they're like,
Statesman whiskey.
Statesman whiskey, and they're like, "Was this a joke? All right, let's just." They each take a drink, like to the Kingsman. They take like, "Ooh, let's do another one."
Yeah.
And they keep toasting. They keep finding different people to toast. Just like, should we toast JB?
Yeah.
The dog. It's like, yeah, I think we should. And they're like, drink this whole bottle of whiskey together. But they notice on the label, it says "Made in Kentucky," and the K though is the Kingsman logo.
Right.
And so that leads them to the Statesman whiskey in Kentucky.
They break in using their gadgets to this. They break into like a secret room or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Get captured by Channing Tatum, who, while being interrogated, Halle Berry comes in and stops the interrogation
because he doesn't believe their wild story. Which they tell him the absolute truth of what happened, but he doesn't believe this wild story because they have no idea that the other exists.
Right.
Apparently the founders knew, but they didn't tell anyone below them.
Yeah.
So no one after the founders of either of these knew the other existed.
And so she comes in, it says, "I opened our Doomsday Vault and found this umbrella in there." And it's a Kingsman umbrella, but the S in Kingsman is the same as the Statesman logo.
Yep.
So, and that's how they...
But it also turns out that they had found Harry...
Right, after the event, after the scene where he gets shot at the church in the first one.
Right, so they're able to save him, but he has amnesia. And so they manage to get his memory back, and he joins them on the missions after that and all that. So,
his head wound, he's saved from his head wound using a gadget.
Yeah, that the Statesman had developed. But,
and at the end of the movie, the two organizations merge. The Statesmen open a distillery in Scotland.
Or they buy a distillery.
Or they buy a distillery in Scotland or something so that they can have a cover for having resources in England now.
Right. So they help provide resources for the Kingsmen to build back up.
And Channing Tatum shows up at the very end wearing a pinstripe business suit, shiny cowboy boots, and a bowler.
And carrying an umbrella.
Wearing a bowler.
And he walks into the Kingsman tailor shop.
Yep.
But, yeah, so I love just a little thing that like I loved so much was there's this part where Agent Whiskey hops in this jet and it's called the Silver Pony. Oh, yeah. And it's this silver F-22 and he's got this like American flag helmet on.
Like there was a conversation before that ended in, "Do I have a helmet?"
Right. Well, it wasn't gold with stripes,
yeah.
But still, it was
fantastic.
Just knock something around. Yeah, it was like that is a great helmet. It has like whiskey on the front of it, but it's this silver F-22 flying off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
No explanation on how he lands the thing in Cambodia, but
Yeah, or how far away he has to land the thing in Haigan. I don't know. Probably the same place that they landed that big blue Statesman jet.
yeah, that's
Think
true.
about that. The states it was kept pointing out like yeah, we're just like you guys, but we have more resources.
Yeah, they kept pointing out just like how much more money they have. Like they just have their stock ticker on a screen in the background the whole time
because they get all their money from their distillery business.
Yeah.
Then when they find out they're going to America, Arthur's like, I like country western music.
Oh yeah, so
He starts singing John
Take Me
Denver.
Home, Country Roads.
Yeah, take me home.
He's gotten some
mileage this year.
exposure, yeah.
So between this and Logan Lucky,
Also with Channing Tatum.
also Channing Tatum movie, we hear a lot of John Denver's "Take Me Home, Country Roads,"
which is it's a great song, but I just it feels like at some point there was a bet or someone bet Channing Tatum that he couldn't get that song incorporated into every movie he was gonna be in this year or something. It's just so weird. Like two movies, both with Channing Tatum, and both pretty close to each other in release date. Although they've been working on Kingsman 2, I'm sure a lot longer because Logan Lucky had like next to no special effects.
Right. Well, see, Logan Lucky. Here's the thing: in Logan Lucky, it made a lot of sense to use that song because it took place in West Virginia. It fit in with the song in a very important way.
Yeah.
In this, it could have been almost any country song.
Yeah. Yeah, it really could have been.
It did not have to be that song at all. It could have been almost any song.
I think they were just like, what's a very well-known and highly respected country western song?
That is sad because Merlin sings it when he's getting ready to die.
Yeah.
So it has to be a sad sort of song.
Yeah, sad. Or
a somber song anyway.
Yeah, somber.
Yeah, it couldn't have been Boot Scootin' Boogie or anything.
or Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. Yeah. Although that would have probably fit in pretty well with the Statesman.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of weird hearing it with the Scottish accent as well.
Funny. You said they're singing, "Take me home, country road."
Yeah, it was just kind of weird hearing it done with the Scottish accent, but yeah, it is. I mean, the song. It's not like the song didn't fit with the movie.
No, I'm just saying it didn't have to be that song.
Right.
Whereas in Logan Lucky, it pretty much did.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there was some situation where like they were like sort of auctioning off the rights to that song or something somewhere. They're like, here, grab up the song.
Who did Logan Lucky? Was it the same studio?
Oh well, maybe.
I mean, that would explain it, right? He did. This was Marv, was the production company, which is the Matthew Vaughn.
Right, but was it Fox that was the...
I don't remember on IMDb where to see the studio.
Yeah, because...
hold on.
They did use Fox News quite a bit in this movie, too.
Yeah, 20th Century Fox Film Corporation.
Yeah.
Shangri-La Entertainment, because no Hollywood movie gets made without Chinese money anymore, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Oop, what did I just hit? Oh, there we go. Let's see. Who made Logan Lucky? No one important, apparently.
No?
Trans Radial Pictures and Free Association.
Alright. So, yeah.
So it's not like Fox acquired the rights to the song.
And they're just like, hey, let's put in as many movies as we can until this runs out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I figured... I couldn't... Because we were discussing this way home. I couldn't remember who was the primary distributing studio. But I figured it had to be Fox because Fox News was used so much in the movie. Like every time you saw it wasn't even like a montage of news outlets. Like here's Fox News, here's BBC, here's CNN. No, it was always Fox News.
Yeah, and the news came up like 2 or 3 times at least.
Yeah.
So
Even when they like cut, when they use it as a transition, they'll be like in America and they'll show like the Fox News anchor talking, and then they'll pull out and they'll be like in England, these characters in England also watching this Fox News broadcast.
Yeah, talking about the drug
Right.
rash thing, and it's like, I mean, wouldn't they be watching the BBC News or something? But hey, whatever. Yeah, it's a fun movie. Again, really, my
Yeah.
only complaint about it is that Channing Tatum isn't in it enough. And the thing is, I would be fine with him being in it as little as he is if he wasn't featured so heavily in the trailers.
You're right. There's just a bunch of scenes in the trailers that looked pretty good that just didn't make it into the movie.
Yeah.
Although the American flag parachute did make it into the movie, I was at least pleased that happened.
Yeah. But highly recommend this movie. I think I've said everything I have to say about it, though.
Yeah, pretty much.
So next week is American Made.
Yeah, I'm excited
with
for
Tom
that.
Cruise. I'm very excited about that. It looks like a good movie.
I like these movies that go back to like the 80s and earlier, or these period pieces, 70s and 80s during like the weird stuff that's going on in the Cold War.
Yeah.
And like
That's why Atomic Blonde. We liked Atomic Blonde so much.
yeah,
It was a big part of
but
it.
I mean like even more serious movies like what was that one with Jeremy Renner where he was reporting on
Oh yeah,
the CIA drug deals with like to fund the Contra,
yeah,
which this is a part of.
right.
America, not this, but America Made is a part of.
Yeah,
That whole thing.
yeah,
Because that is such a weird time, and like the things that the government was doing, all the shady stuff the government was doing to fight communism.
yeah. It's really sort of bizarre and interesting. Like
Yeah, I'm just
lengths they were
fascinated by
willing
that
to go
stuff.
to. Yeah. But that's next week. The week after that is Blade Runner.
Super excited for.
It's a 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah, well, did you ever see Blade Runner?
Yeah. Blade Runner 2049 specifically, in case
Yeah.
you didn't catch that we were talking about the sequel. It's gonna be a very long movie, but pretty excited about that. And then The Foreigner is the week after that.
I've heard good things about The Foreigner.
Yep.
We're gonna see Marshall.
I like
too?
Jackie Chan. I mean, I feel like we should see Marshall. It's like the most Oscar baity thing I've seen this Oscar season.
Yeah, and
We're just at the beginning of Oscar season, but still.
What's his name? That's in the Chadwick Boseman. I like everything.
You might
I've
know
seen
him better as Black Panther.
But he's done so many Oscar-worthy performances that have just never gotten recognition. But this is right in Oscar season, so there's a chance that it will.
Yep.
42.
Yeah, he was
and
Jackie Robinson
Get
in
On Up.
42.
But both those
and
movies
James
were
Brown
like
in Get On Up.
both those movies were like March releases or something, so it was like really bad for.
Yeah, Get On Up wasn't as good a movie as 42.
42 is I thought 42.
42 was a fantastic movie. The movie was so good. Get On Up was okay, but he did a very good job
as James Brown.
as James Brown.
Yeah.
James Brown.
James Brown.
Brown.
He was great in that role.
Yep. So, but yeah, and most people probably the first thing they really know him from was as Black Panther and in the Avengers.
Yeah.
T'Challa.
Yeah. T'Challa.
So, but yeah, we'll probably see Marshall. That's gonna be a week where we have to figure out. We're seeing 2 movies, I guess.
That's about Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah. Thing is, The Foreigner. I feel like The Foreigner is gonna be a pretty small release. We might have our hands tied about when we can see that.
Right, but like
I like Jackie Chan.
Yeah, and I've heard good things about that movie too. People who've seen it online all say it's really good.
Yeah, it's been making the rounds at film festivals. So
yeah.
And then we'll figure out what's going on from there because I think we hit another
dry spell until
at least for a couple of weeks. Well, we got it. It's October. It's gonna be October. We got to deal with like a bunch of terrible freaking. I mean, probably actually really good horror movies, but again, we don't care about horror movies. So it's October, which means it's gonna be a couple of weeks where the only movies worth seeing are horror movies.
Then we get into the family movie season.
And you mean the Star Wars movie season?
Right, but around Thanksgiving we'll just get a whole bunch of family films.
Yep. So we'll do as many of these as there are movies we care to see, because we're not seeing movies just for the sake of making these. We're seeing movies we want to see and then talking about them. So
Right.
it's unlikely that you'll get many of these reviews from us where we're just like, God, this was a bad movie.
What's this movie that's the background image?
That's
Oh,
a
that's
PBS
that's a PBS Vietnam
yeah,
documentary.
Vietnam
Okay.
documentary. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So thanks for listening to our review of Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Yep.
Tune in next week for our review of what is it? American Made. And also check out our streams over on Twitch. We sort of moved streaming over to Twitch. It's sort of an easier platform, and the YouTube metrics have not been kind to anything with a gun in it, like 90% of video games made these days.
Yeah.
So we sort of switched over to Twitch for like all of our streaming. So go check that out. We're currently playing through Uncharted Lost Legacy. I had no intention of that becoming our weekly stream, by the way. It's just I haven't been having real time to really sit down and play it during the week. So, but yeah, go check that out. And like I said, check out a review of American Made next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.